Hello everybody, this is the MothrShip here, and today I'm bringing you an announcement on Deca's new event, the ST Weekend. No, it is not a UT weekend before you rush into the comments and ask that question instead of watching this timely video. Now, what is an ST Weekend then, you might be asking yourself? This is an event that started today, as I am recording this, the 23rd of September, and will last until Tuesday, the 27th of September at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, or 1900 UTC. Now this is an event in which you can get all of the ST set items from actually playing the game instead of being a pay-to-win. Did I say that out loud? Basically, what you can do is you can go into the themed dungeons, except for the Mystic dungeon. That one's not themed, but I'll get there in a second. I'm going to give you an overview of everything. But you can go into the dungeons that are specific to an ST set and actually get the items there. And these are increased drop rates, so normally you could get something like a pixie sword, but now it is doubled. You can also get the mini Geb skin, which is 8 by 8 pixels, so it's a really cute version of the 16 by 16. If you're lucky, you can get that when you kill Geb in a Tomb of the Ancients. Now, I'm going to share with you all the items that you can get and where you need to look for them if you want to farm. And keep in mind, these are all at relatively high drop rates for rare items, but they're still kind of like white bag-esque things, so it's definitely exciting to get them. If you're not familiar with Realm's ST sets, there are 6. There's the Swole Paladin Set, the Twilight Archmage Set, the School 2 the Regostening Set, the Oryx Awesome Set, the Priest of Geb Set, and the Phylactery Mystic Set. Now, Hofster and I have made videos on every single one of these sets, and they will be linked probably on the screen, in the cards, as well as in the description below if you want to check them out and get an overview and a review of sort of what these sets are before you go hunting for them. I really recommend those guides. Hofster did a great job editing them. Now, the first set that we're going to talk about is the Swole Paladin Set. You find this one in the Candyland, and you can get the Pixie Enchanted Sword, which drops from the Gigacorn, the Seal of the Enchanted Forest from the Desire Troll, the Fairy Plate from the Swole Fairy, and the Ring of Pure Wishes from the Megarototo. Now, if you're not familiar with the Candyland, you have to clear out all of the mini-bosses in the dungeon, or at least until you spawn a boss, kill the boss, and then go back to farming mini-bosses until another boss spawns. So it's a really good way. You can do that infinitely until your game crashes to farm for these items in this set. Secondly, there's the Twilight Archmage Set, which drops from the Shatters. Now you can get the Sentient Staff from the 3rd boss. The Ancient Spell Pierce drops from the 2nd boss, and we kind of covered a lot about the Ancient Spell Pierce in our wizard guide that was out recently. The Robe of Twilight drops from the 2nd boss, and the Forgotten Ring drops from Ice Adepts, actually. So that's kind of like the Geb set you'll see. It drops from minions instead of from the bosses themselves. Next up, we have the Schooled or Scold 2 the Regostening Set. Now this drops from the Haunted Cemetery. The Aetheryte Dagger is probably the most desired part of this set, and that drops from Schooled. The Ghastly Drape as well, the ability will drop from Schooled. The Mantle of Schooled, however, will drop from the 3rd boss, and the Spectral Ring of Horrors drop from the 2nd boss. So the best items in the set, in most people's opinion and mine as well, will drop from the final boss, Scold, the big ghost person. Now the most common ST set that you probably see in the realms being worn entirely would be the Oryx Awesome Set. Now this set drops from the Wine Cellar, and all items come from Oryx too. Now these items will be the Sword of the Mad God, the Onyx Shield of the Mad God, the Almandine Armor of Anger, and the Almandine Ring of Wrath. And again, those all will be dropping from Oryx 2 at low-ish chances. The 5th ST set that has double drop rates will be the Priest of Geb set from the Tomb of the Ancients. Now this set drops normally around tombs, but this weekend, again, remember, it will be double drop rates for pre-existing ST items and the new ST droppable items as well. So most importantly here, I would say, is the Book of Geb, but the Scepter of Geb and the Book of Geb both drop from that tomb boss, Geb himself. The Shendit, if you want it, drops from the Treasure Sarcophagus, and Geb's Ring of Wisdom drops from the Worshipping Priests. This is kind of like what I was talking about earlier with the Ice Adepts. These are minions and not the actual bosses or sub-bosses themselves. Just regular minions can drop the rings and sort of the lower level items from these ST sets, which I think is pretty cool. And lastly, we have the oddball out, the Phylactery Mystic set. This drops from the Lair of Draconis. You're probably thinking to yourself right now, wait, but MothrShip, you must have misspoken. How could this be? Why would the Phylactery Mystic set drop from the Lair of Draconis? I don't know. Why would it drop from the Lair of Draconis? It should drop from the Lich, but again, people don't like buffing Liches, and the Phylactery things are pretty easy to kill, the Bearer of Souls or whatever. So yeah, they're kind of lame. Anyway, they drop from the Lair of Draconis to make it somewhat difficult to get these items, since they're actually pretty cool items. So, I'll just get right into it. If you're gonna kill the Red Dragon, try and kill it in hard mode, because this will drop the Phylactery at a low chance. If you want the Soul of the Bearer, the Mystic Orb, you will have to kill the Ivory Wyvern, which will require starting the dungeon with Black Dragon and killing every single one after it in hard mode. The Soulless Robe will drop from the Blue Dragon in hard mode only, and the Ring of the Covetous Heart will drop from the Black Dragon in hard mode only as well. Alright, so now you're probably like running around in circles like a chicken with your head cut off, like, oh my god, I gotta get on my realm account and get all these items, and I can have some pixels in a game and be rich in a game. But before you go jump in and get all those dank items, which I totally think is you should, I'm going to go try to get those items after this video. You should watch this to the end and hear what I have to say about this. Now, I think that Deca is really taking Realm in the right direction with these ST sets dropping from dungeons. Because previously, like, if you had the full Oryx set on, I mean, dude, come on, we knew it. You were buying that thing off of realmitems.net. Deca's in my house. They heard realmitems. I shouldn't say that name anymore. They heard you know what that we don't speak of. Oh god, I can hear the Deca team. They're coming to get me. They're gonna hit me with the real world trade ban hammer. Somebody said help, please. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, you could just buy these ST sets before, or you could trade for them, but they all came from a purchase made with gold, or almost all of them. I mean, there are exceptions, like the Pixie things, which were duped. I mean, what? Are we allowed to say that word? Or, you know, there was the Geb set, which personally I really like. The Geb set, I think it's a pretty balanced set that offers some real benefits. But otherwise, things like I was saying, the Oryx set and stuff, like that's just, you know, money. But if you can get them in the game, it kind of bridges the gap between pay to win and work to win. So I think it's kind of cool that Deca is actually implementing these items. Even if it's only for a weekend, it still gives other players that shot at getting it. I mean, things like the Ogmer and the Quad dropping from the Ocean Trench, I mean, that's kind of more controversial in my opinion, because you could get those items in the realm already, but if you couldn't get them, like, you can't get the sets, like the Phylactery Mystic set, you can't get that in the wild. I think this is pretty cool that you can now get those. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think below in the comments about whether or not this is a good idea. I also think it's kind of cool that this is happening on RuneScape's double XP weekend, so that all the realm players that are off farming on RuneScape kind of don't get to do this, and I get more items. I mean, I'm not selfish. Who are you? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video on the new ST event in Realm of the Mad God. And leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you didn't like this video. If you want to hear more about my opinions, let me know in the comments below. And also, tell me your opinions. Got a video you think I should make? Let me know. Got some criticism? Let me know. But please don't be too mean about it. I have feelings. I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao.